Across the country, there's quite a lot of issues happening for as far as current affairs is concerned. Of course, we do have the issues to do with the shift from NHIF all the way to the Social Health Authority. What does that mean for you as a Kenyan citizen? That particular process started yesterday. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered as far as that front is concerned, with the government to some extent attempting to answer those questions, but the public is not satisfied with that. Some are of the opinion that NHIF worked perfectly. Why did we have to change if at all we were not ready with SHA, and that is the Social Health Authority? On the political front, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is a man on defense after a motion was tabled yesterday in the National Assembly, supported by 291 members of parliament, who say we are ready to start the process of impeaching the second in command. What does that mean for the nation? What does that mean for him, especially after 11 counts were presented before the National Assembly that these are the grounds that we need to actually get to impeach the Deputy President? They include a gross violation of the Constitution, abuse of office. He has been accused of being a bully, intimidating other officials in the government, and so on. So there are 11, but the Constitution does provide for 3. So in this 11, it has to some extent attempted to get to all the 3 that the Constitution says these are the grounds that we can actually get to impeach the Deputy President. We'll be getting into that conversation because it is a conversation that is making, it is a topic rather that will be making the basis of our conversation this particular morning. Try to understand the ouster motion against the Deputy President, that is Rigathi Gachagua. What are some of his options? What does this mean for him politically? If at all he is ousted, will he have another opportunity to redeem himself in future? Should he resign or should he wait until the end? Does he have better cards to play as far as this impeachment is concerned? So that's a conversation that we'll be having here on the program with my panel later on, and I'll be speaking to Senator Gloria Uroba and also members of parliament that are on the forefront when it comes to, I'm speaking about Embakasi North Member of Parliament, that is Gakuya, and also Leto, not Leto, but Member of Parliament from Kacheliba, who will also be joining us this particular morning to try and break it down and make sense of what is happening in the political front as far as this is concerned. Also, I'll be bringing you up to speed with what is happening on the newspapers and what you're waking up to as far as current affairs and news is concerned. So start engaging us on our socials. Zatamoy Brian, that is on X at K24 across social media platforms. We'll be sampling your feedback as we continue with this particular program this particular morning. But before we do that, I do want to take you up to speed, or rather bring you up to speed with what you're waking up to as far as news is concerned. And this is the dailies, or rather the stories that have been making headlines this particular morning and also yesternight. Let's begin. Now, Kibwezi West Member of Parliament Mwengi Mutuse has officially tabled an impeachment motion against Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua after securing 291 signatures from MPs in support of the move. Now, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has approved the motion, citing 11 grounds for the ouster. As Joel Chacha reports, security concerns for both the President and MPs have surfaced, with Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah warning of a looming threat.
Removed from office, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua have been made good following the tabling of an impeachment motion before the National Assembly with the backing of a record 291 MPs.
To be remembered that at this stage of moving the motion, the requirement of the law is that the motion should be supported by 1/3, translating to about 117 members. However, Mr. Speaker, we have 291.
Kibwezi West Member of Parliament Mwengi Mutuse, who has a legal background, presented 11 grounds for Gachagua's removal, including gross misconduct, violation of the Constitution, corruption and money laundering, among others.
Rigathi Gachagua did declare that he was worth 800 million. We are aware that he's paid slightly over 1 billion, meaning that for the last 2 years, the much he could have accumulated justly is about 24 million. But I would demonstrate before Kenyans that he has properties to himself, the ones that I was able to get in my time of research, worth 5.2 billion Kenya shillings. So be demonstrating before Kenyans that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has committed international crimes. Round of gross misconduct. I will be able to speak to the House in a very clear manner as to what constitutes gross misconduct as interpreted by our own courts. And I'll be able to show that the person of the Deputy President is a...
National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has given the green light for the motion to proceed, meaning the House will now determine the fate of the Deputy President.
Having examined the notice of the special motion by the member for Kibwezi West, I find that the special motion meets the requirements relating to form. I've also satisfied myself that the number of members who have appended their signatures in support of the special motion exceed the minimum threshold of 117 members in this House.
However, MPs who will vote on the motion raise concerns over the safety and that of the President.
Not only do we have to protect the lives of 291 members of Parliament who have appended their signature there, we must also protect the system. The IG must protect our President to the hilt. Any reckless thug can decide to change the course of history if, God forbid, anything were to happen to our President.
We have seen it on social media. We have been told by certain quarters that before March of 2025, they say bendera itapepea mlingoti nusu. Honorable Speaker, these are weighty issues. Not dealing with an ordinary matter. We are not dealing with an ordinary man. We are dealing with a black man with a very black heart.
Let us not fight. Let us not begrudge anyone, because what the House is doing is constitutional, because the House is just exercising its mandate. It's not doing anything outside the Constitution.
Many impeached governors or their deputies challenge their impeachment based on the process of public participation. Honorable Speaker, this is unprecedented, and of course it's my view that to replicate the same.
Joel Chacha, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Right, there's a great example of when you go mess with Kiguza Mrima, you have to be ready for the consequences, right? Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has been urged to resign to avoid the shame of impeachment following the tabling of a motion backed by 291 members of parliament, far exceeding the required 117. And as Bentura Kwamboka reports, Kenyans are calling on President William Ruto to intervene, citing a lack of public participation in the process.
Tabling of the impeachment motion against Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, some legislators from Murang'a County have come out to defend him, claiming the move is a political witch hunt.
Sisi tunasimama na Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua na tunamwomba Rais William Ruto, tulimsaidia akapata kuweza kupata ile kiti yako nayo. Sisi wote ambao tumesimama hapa, hakuna mtu alipata kiti kwa sababu yeye alikuwa na mapenzi mingi ama alikuwa mrembo. Sisi wote tulifanya kazi kuhakikisha kwamba naye Rais William Ruto amepata kiti, na kwa hivyo akienda kuleta yale mambo analeta sahihi, tunahuzunika sana, na kwa hivyo sisi tunamueleza aweze kutuliza boli, aweze kuleta siasa chini, awachane kuleta ile jumu ya kuenda kumfuza naibu rais Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua.
They argue that the motion did not follow the proper procedures, specifically criticizing the mover for failing to conduct public participation before tabling it.
Gana na Constitution Article 118 pamoja na Article 150. Bas, before tuingie kwa impeachment, tunatakiwa kwenda public participation kwa sababu hivyo ndivyo Article 118 imesema. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua amechaguliwa na wananchi, na ni wao tu wanatakiwa wamsikize, wajue shida ni gani, alafu wapeane maamuzi yake.
Cloud inakwambia hawaja kutuma, kama kwetu mahali nimetoka Conward, si hatujatuma MP aende akatoe wa Deputy President.
Wakazi wetu wamesema ya kwamba hiyo mambo ya impeachment motion, they are not behind it. Sisi kama watu ya Murang'a County tumesema ya kwamba we will not support it.
Despite allegations that Gachagua amassed 5.2 billion shillings within 2 years of taking office, the legislatures are now calling for transparency from other public servants regarding their wealth acquired during their tenures.
Wanasema kwamba Gachagua kwa mfano tu kwamba kwa muda wa miaka miwili amepata mali ambayo hawezi kuonyesha kama ameipata bilioni 5 nukta. Tutakuwa tukiuliza watu wengine pia na wao tuletewe walikuwa na utajiri kiasi gani na sasa hivi wako na utajiri kiasi. Hao itajumuisha watu wote ambao ni wafanyikazi wa umma. Na kwa sababu Rigiji ako katika presidency, basi kuna wale ambao pia wanaweza kuuliza waletewe pia hesabu waone pia naye rais alikuwa na utajiri kiasi gani na sasa hivi yako na utajiri kiasi gani.
Former Naivasha Member of Parliament John Mutudho has also urged Gachagua to resign, suggesting that only he and the president understand their political struggles.
What I would tell my friend Gachagua, with a lot of humility and respect, I would ask him just to resign quietly, plan his game again, and not force all these kind of hulabaloo we are going to hear. Let's talk about how shall we make Kenya a better place. We are aware there were pre-election deals. If we didn't have a deal, we didn't have a deal. The next elections, we'll have proper deals.
Meanwhile, President William Ruto has been called upon to intervene and support his deputy.
Ila ni muombe mara tena rais wetu akomeshe, asimamishe mswada huu kwa sababu utamharibia nafasi yake mlimani.
Tunaomba rais wetu tu tafadhali, kama Rigathi Gachagua ashawahi kukosea, tunakuomba kwa jamii yetu, kuna wazee waite muongee, Rigathi atatubu, na kama ni deni sisi ni wafanyikazi tutamripia. Tumeleta maombi tumulilia Mungu wetu, ndio Mungu wetu asikie maombi, ndio alete kuungana kwa president na deputy wake.
Yesterday, the High Court declined to issue 2 interim orders to stop Parliament from proceeding with Gashagua's impeachment motion. Bentura Kwamboka, K24, Nairobi.
All right, now a motion seeking to discuss the conduct of President William Ruto has been presented before the Senate. The censure motion by Makueni Senator came hours before the impeachment motion of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on grounds that the president has failed to protect Kenyans and blames the death witnessed during the Gen Z demos on President William Ruto. Martin Opio reports.
The country was waiting with bated breath for the tabling of the impeachment motion against Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Makueni Senator Dan Manzo was filing a censure motion against the president. Manzo claims that Ruto has failed to protect Kenyans in light of the insecurity in the country, coupled by deaths witnessed during the Gen Z demos in opposition of the Finance Bill 2024.
This morning I've done a censure motion against President William Ruto. The main thrust of that motion first is based on the Constitution and constitutional breaches which has been conducted in this country.
His accusations towards the president include implementing policies in the education and health sector without proper public participation.
The censure motion is that there has been abductions and killings in the country. The president is the chairperson of security committee in the country and therefore must know and is briefed on every single security detail of the country. Up to now, there are still missing Kenyans following demonstrations. Quite a number were killed by police and others brutalized, are still recovering in hospitals. And there are quite a number of bodies uncollected at the city morgue and many other mortuaries in the country for people who were killed by police during the demonstration. That has not been accounted for, and that responsibility is squarely on the president.
The pandemonium in the social health insurance, university funding model, and Jomo Kenyatta International Airport Adani deal talks are some of the grounds for the censure motion, which Senate is expected to debate.
And similarly, a lot of Kenyans have expressed that if you are going to impeach the deputy president, then impeach the president too, popularly known as Kufa Ndereva Kufa Makanga. Therefore, I believe quite a number of members of parliament also who are displeased with these moves and who have enough grounds to impeach the president.
At the same time, the senator is faulting President Ruto's decision to decline to sign the Division of Revenue Bill 2024, which would have facilitated the disbursement of 400 billion shillings to the counties on grounds that the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024 had severe impact on the country's revenue.
Assure Kenyans, I have heard about the petition. There are no grounds, absolutely, to impeach the deputy president. It's a political motion, and I believe also an impeachment against President Ruto can also be a political motion.
Martin Opio, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Right, to matters health, the Kenyans have been assured that all their contributions to the National Health Insurance Fund, that is NHIF, will be transferred to the new Social Health Insurance Fund, that is SHIF. Now, the new health insurance plan was officially launched yesterday by Health Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Mulongo. Now, taxpayers have been promised free access to basic health services, with all health centers instructed to serve all Kenyans equally. As a reporter Mariam Jahid explains, Kenyans are encouraged to continue registering for this program to benefit from improved healthcare services.
The transition from NHIF to SHIF has officially begun nationwide. Leading the launch, Health Minister Deborah Barasa emphasized that no health facility will turn away patients and urged all Kenyans to register for the program.
Hata waliokuwa kwa NHIF, tukiendelea kuhamisha, mnaenda tu hospitali na mtaonekana. Hakuna haja ya mtu kurudishwa nyumbani.
Barasa highlighted that this initiative aims to improve healthcare for all citizens with basic services provided entirely free of charge.
Sasa kama haujiwezi, you are the poor or the vulnerable, utatibiwa bure. Kuanzia chini, hiyo ni level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hadi 6. Lakini payment inaanza 300 kuendelea. Na hiyo inalingana na upato wako, ambayo itakuwa 2.75% ya upato. Sasa tunasema Wakenya tujisajili kwa SHA, ndiposa tupate matibabu haya.
Contributions to NHIF will be safely transferred to SHIF to enhance comprehensive healthcare services, including cancer treatment and kidney care at both public and private facilities.
If you had overpaid in NHIF, that money is going to be rolled out into Social Health Authority. So nobody is going to lose their money simply because they had overpaid. Maybe they had paid for a whole year and they can see that we are coming to the end of the year. Maybe we have another some money for November and December. Your money is safe. The first point of charge is going to be the Social Health Authority. The other cover can only come to take care of anything which is excess. Therefore, every Kenyan should feel comfortable and should also be happy to walk into any health facility to be treated.
Acting CEO of the Social Health Authority, Elijah Washira, added that the new SHIF plan is set to provide in-depth healthcare services over the next 2 years. He urged citizens to register quickly to take full advantage of the offered services.
Na ile mitambo ya NHIF iko na machina yetu watu wa NHIF. Sasa tungefanya nini? Tungebadilishiwa tu hapo na hawa wafanyikazi wa NHIF waendelee na kazi kwa sababu machina yetu iko kwa kompyuta.
In Mombasa, residents have called on the government to provide more education on the new healthcare plan, while others have raised concerns about challenges in registering.
Bado hatujafahamu na hawakutuelezea ni vigumu, hawajui namna kutuelezea vipi SHA uzuri wake na vipi NHIF ubaya wake. Wangechukua wale NHIF ambao wako registrar ni kubadilisha majina tu, transfer jina lako ni fulani fulani, kadi yako hii.
Kakamega County has been flagged for its low registration rates, with residents encouraged to seize the opportunity to access quality healthcare.
23 ni watu wachache sana ukilinganisha na kaunti zingine. So mimi nachukua fursa hii kuambia wana Kakamega wote muweze kujiandikisha kwa wingi ili mkienda katika hospitali zetu za level 2s na level 3s mtapata matibabu ya bure.
In Nandi County, locals were reassured that the information will be kept secure during registration.
And as more citizens register and there is more funding, we will continue to review based on the needs to ensure that we improve the packages and we add more services based on the population demands.
So far, 2.3 million Kenyans have registered, with health officials tasked with raising awareness about the importance of the social health insurance program. Mariam Jahid, K24 Nairobi.
Now, kidney patients undergoing dialysis are now paying for their treatment out of their pocket following the transition from NHIF to SHA. Previously, NHIF covered between 7,500 to 9,500 per session, but patients must now bear the full cost. Robbie Omondi has the details.
The NHIF to SHA transition is now in effect, and many Kenyans are already feeling the strain of the sudden change.
Thousands of Kenyan patients who have CKD, chronic kidney failure, CKF, chronic kidney failure, depend on NHIF to pay for their dialysis, because dialysis is really, really expensive. It is 9,500 per session. So my wife does 2. There are people who do 3 in a week. So it's a pretty costly thing.
Liki Majengo, a kidney patient since 2022, received a call yesterday informing him that NHIF would no longer cover for his dialysis sessions as of today.
NHIF has been paying for my dialysis twice a week, and for the tests and in blood boosters.
And when he arrived at the hospital, he was forced to pay 7,500 to undergo dialysis.
So when we came in the morning, we were told that there is no dialysis without payment. Approximately 76,000 per month. Per session is like 7,500. Sijakuwa nikitoa anything. Yeah, only making my monthly contributions. A reason wametuambia is from the management, and also they don't have the SHA system.
Majengo says that some patients who come with him for dialysis twice a week were absent today, possibly due to a lack of funds.
Nimejaribu to look around, the unit is like empty. We are just like half of us. So I'm just trying to assume that most of them were turned away. Like tunafikanga kitu kama 30. Yeah, for now tuko like 20.
While the situation may differ in public facilities, but there could be a crisis if dialysis patients are not taken care of.
For the patient who have dialysis, the people who have dialysis ongoing is going on. So other things, we are ready and everything is moving on.
They try their best before it's too late, because sababu missing dialysis, even for a session, ni shida. It's overwhelming and can cause severe health problems. So ningejaribu kuwaelezea, they try to fit in the patient's shoes, wajaribu to sort us out.
Robbie Omondi, K24.
Right, that story by Robbie Omondi takes us to our first break here on New Dawn. When we come back, of course, we'll be having a conversation here in studio about the current state of affairs in the country. There's quite a lot of issues happening, like I did mention earlier, from the political front. Of course, the impeachment motion of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua that has already been tabled in the National Assembly. Now we want to look at what next. What does this mean for the nation? What kind of defense does the Deputy President rather have on this particular matter? And of course, having this conversation, I'll be speaking to my panel here in studio. We're still waiting for Senator Gloria Roba, who has not yet made her way here, but we expect that she'll be coming in just a few. Of course, Titus Lote, Member of Parliament, Kacheliba, thank you so much for making time.
Thank you.
Right, I have a message from our constituents. She said, Salimia yeye anafanya ni wetu huyu.
Thank you.
And Honorable James Gakuya, Member of Parliament, Embakasi North, how are you?
I'm fine.
This morning, of course, there's a conversation happening in the country. There's some people that believe that it is Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga. Where do you stand on that?
Kufa Makanga, Kufa Dereva. My stand is that we have a constitution which illustrates what should occur at every single situation.
Okay.
And I think as of now, we must deal with the monster in the house, and the rest will be dealt at a time that actually to appear.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be coming back to talk about that. Let's say, Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga, is it a pair that should go home entirely if at all we don't want one, we don't want the other, or we have an option of just choosing one?
Well, I think it is very clear
that the Constitution provides for options of choosing one. There is nowhere in the Constitution that says that you come in as a pair and you leave as a pair.
Okay.
You are individually responsible for your actions.
Okay.
So if you, within the pair, you are found to be culpable, then you go alone. You leave the other good person to be in.
Okay, okay, sawa. We'll be coming back to talk more about this, and of course what you're waking up to as far as your dailies are concerned. We have the Standard, the People Daily, the Daily Nation, the Star. All these newspapers will be telling you what you're waking up to, and of course as we shape the conversation today on the state of the nation and state of affairs in the country. We take a break. We'll be back in a few.